What role do you think your boycott played in the CEO's decision to step aside now?
This was the most significant boycott of black people since the Montgomery Bus Boycott 70 years ago.
I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm ready to put this alongside the Montgomery Bus Boycott. We never boycott Montgomery Ward or Woolworth. We never boycotted. We didn't boycott Zare. Huh? We ain't never boycott Circuit City. Bradley's. We ain't never boycott Bradley's. Shout out to all of the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I'm Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Target, Buki, you not fooling anybody. Whose hands is these? Now, I don't know if anybody still follows Target, but you should, because these ads is getting crazy. Now, I was scrolling through my FYP, and this video had popped up, and I'm like, whose melanated hand is popping open this Olipop? And I kind of ignored it and didn't think anything of it until maybe like 6 more scrolls later, this pops up. It was another Target ad and another black hand. And then I just went directly to their page because I was like, are they trying to do something? Are they trying to like, psych up us? And I saw a bunch of ads. Most of their recent ad campaigns are just people shopping in Target. No faces, no voices, just very melanated hands doing Target stuff. Like this here, it's like an ASMR restocking video. And they know how much we love that cashmere one. They know how much we love this. Stop playing with us, Target. But again, look, another melanated hand. And then another one here.
Those look AI. The kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, it wasn't that long ago that I sat right here and told the story of just how down bad Target was. Well, as an update, it turns out that neither the black hand models nor the black women t-shirt pulled them out of their slump.
Dear black people, we're sorry.
Hi, I'm Karen, Director of Strategic Consumer Engagement here at Target. Let's talk about choices. Specifically, the brilliant choice we made to abruptly end all our DEI programs. We just wanted to bend the knee to Trump and his base. In the spirit of good old-fashioned racism. Apparently, diversity, equity, and inclusion became too political, too risky, too, woke. So we tossed it and thought no one would notice. Turns out, when you cut the few programs that acknowledge systemic inequity, the very people you're erasing do notice, and quickly. To our surprise, black consumers were spending $12 million a day with us. Every single day. That's not a community, that's a lifeline. Well, guess what happened next? Boycotts, hashtags, viral callouts, a sudden eerie silence in aisles that used to be full. It was like someone unplugged the soul of the store. Literally. We panicked. We regrouped. And we did what every mega corporation does in a PR crisis. We made a t-shirt. This plain, no effort whatsoever. Thank Black Women t-shirt is the perfect apology, with the added insult of trying to turn a profit in the process. There. Fixed it.
I was really tempted to get one of those black women t-shirts just for irony's purposes. And I just wanted like a big target on the sleeve. But y'all would have dragged me for that. So that's why I didn't do it. Well, what we got going on now? Target CEO is stepping down as customers turn away. Target CEO Brian Cornell is stepping down after 11 years at the retailer as the company faces slumping sales and backlash to its retreat on DEI. Cornell's departure was widely expected. Some industry analysts believe Target should bring in an outside voice to lead the company, but it opted for an internal candidate. Cornell will be replaced on February 1st, 2026 by Michael Fiddelke, Target's current chief operating officer. Fiddelke started as an intern at Target and has been at the company for 20 years. What? Target CEO stepping down is crazy. It's like they were losing money or something. I can tell you this, letting him stay around till 2026 is bold. You just giving people an opportunity to get real vicious with it. Yeah, wait till them YNs find out y'all changing CEOs. You know what I mean? You changing somebody overlooking everything. Anything can go down. Here's where you got me messed up though. So you brought in somebody from inside the company? The chief operating officer? So he would have been the chief operating officer when all this was going down then, huh? Mm-hmm. And he didn't step in on any loud opposition to what went down or anything like that. Because that's the thing about a rebrand. If you want to rebrand, you want to get people off your back. You want to bring in some people from the outside that you can attach the past drama to it. You just told me this dude been here for 20 years. So what we doing?
Our top corporate story today, Target, the retailer rolling out CEO succession plans along with its quarterly results. Right now, that stock is down by about 10%. Courtney Reagan's here, and she's got more on this story. Court, good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you all. So Target CEO succession getting more attention than its results this morning. After more than 11 years as CEO, Brian Cornell will transition to executive chairman at the end of the fiscal year, so February 1st. Current COO, former CFO, and 20-year Target veteran Michael Fiddelke will take the top job in February.
I can tell you this. If you really wanted to be down with black people, Fiddelke would have threw some Beijing and clean up the front. You know what I mean? If Fiddelke would have threw some Beijing in there, that would have at least been a signal that he's down with the struggle. But he went. We've seen that patch before. We know what that's about.
Fiddelke told reporters, I'm, quote, stepping in with urgency to rebuild momentum and return to profitable growth. He's got three priorities. He says, first, we have to lead with merchandise beyond the occasional design partnership. Two, we have to create a consistent experience for shoppers. And then third, use technology better to improve speed and efficiency. He focused a lot of his discussion with reporters around urgency and moving faster.
Yeah, they must have missed us. Yeah, I think they missed us in that. Yeah, we must have been in the second panel, the second graph. Yeah. That's why he was the COO when they got rid of the DI. He see all the boycott, and this is what he had to say. Urgency. I guess they wasn't moving fast enough. Let him tell it. They should have got rid of DEI years ago. That's what I'm reading into it.
Now, Fiddelke has work to do, to be sure, to get back to growth. Target has had a rough several years post-pandemic highs. Comparable sales have been inconsistent in-store and online. Operating margin is a little over 5%. That's well below the 8.4% peak in 2022. Shares down 22% this year. Now, under Cornell, the retailer has had inventory missteps. It took and then changed positions on a number of political and cultural issues that generated boycotts on both sides and hits to traffic and sales. But
I just want to know how you put boycotts last. I just want to know how you put y'all spend so much money trying to figure out how to appeal to consumers. And if you have a substantive boycott from any sector of the populace that frames perception of your brand in any way, how you put that? Hey, I heard a lot of your gigs got canceled. I think I should have structured my jokes and my set a little differently. I should have opened with the relationship material, and that would have gone better. And then I think I probably my clothes, my dress, you know what I mean? I feel like I was a little too dressed down. I should have dressed up a little bit. But then, there was a huge boycott in the middle of the audience. The moment I hit the stage, that may have been an issue. And then they were standing outside and discouraging people from buying tickets. That may have been, but I think it was mostly about my clothes and my set list. That's what I think. Well, I can tell you this, Wall Street was feeling exactly like we were as Target stock plunges 7% as the new CEO pick disappoints Wall Street. There won't be change when change is needed. Investors have been hoping for an outside executive to take over the flailing chain, which has reported dismal results in recent quarters and lost ground to big box rival Walmart. There are no shortage of critics out there, Fiddelke said in an internal meeting on Wednesday. The way to prove those critics wrong is with action that leads to results. I'll show you some action and some results right here with this common stock chart. I can see some action and some results right there. In fact, let's look at your actions. So Cornell took over in 2014, which was a moment of crisis for Target. He was the first Target CEO hired from outside the company, having spent more than 30 years at retail and consumer products companies such as Walmart, Pepsi, and Michaels. You got their exit from Canada in 2015. Then 2017, they announced a $7 billion investment for improvements in its digital infrastructure, store remodels, and new private label brands. Earnings soared in 2018, and in 2019, CNN Business named Cornell CEO of the Year for leading a successful comeback. There was even a boom in 2020 to 2021 during the pandemic as shoppers rushed to stores to purchase essentials, home goods, office supplies, and other merchandise. But in 2022, things began to falter post-pandemic as shoppers eager to move back into the world stopped buying treadmills, TVs, and home goods. Then in 2023, Target's quarterly sales fell for the first time in 6 years as consumers pulled back on discretionary goods, while fierce right-wing backlash to Target's Pride Month collection took a toll. Activists and customers on the right attacked Target on social media for its LGBTQ-themed merchandise during Pride Month. Target employees faced threats. Misinformation spread on social media that the swimsuits designed for transgender people were marketed to children, which they were not. The company removed them from stores. There was a strong signal to Pride merchandise, and the response was a signal for us to pause, adapt, and learn. But Target's response frustrated supporters of gay and transgender rights who said the company caved to bigoted pressure. Now, let's just deconstruct this for a moment. So you guys decided to go with a pride display in 2023. And I could give you a little bit of grace because 2023, maybe you weren't sufficiently educated to the moves of the right wing, where they pick and choose what they decide to cancel while claiming cancel culture with regards to other stuff. They talking about Cracker Barrel now because they got a problem with a yellow blob, which is what his new one is. They just mad. Yeah, they just, you maybe weren't sufficiently attuned to the disingenuousness of these right wing attempts at cancellation. But there are two things you have to keep in mind. Not only do you have to keep in mind who your customer base is, right? This would be as nonsensical as deciding to go far right while you are the head of an electric car company. You know, it'd be something crazy like that to taint Tesla with Trumpism and MAGA. It would be something as nonsense. You have to keep in mind who is buying your products and who you should be showing allegiance to. That's number one. Number two, what did you think was going to happen when you decided to go back? Or what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that all of a sudden all the right wingers were just going to abandon Walmart and flood your stores because you got rid of it? Half of them don't even know that you got rid of it. They just see people trying to call you out and get likes and shares for trying to cancel somebody. They don't even know that you got rid of it. You are framed for those people already.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from stupid town?
What did you seek to accomplish by deciding to go back on it other than angering the base that you did have? And this was just the practice run for DEI. In January of 2025, Target drops its DEI goals days into the Trump presidency, announcing it was eliminating hiring goals for minority employees, ending an executive committee focused on racial justice, and making other changes to your diversity initiatives. Target had been a leading advocate for DEI programs in the business world in the years after George Floyd was murdered by police in the company's home of Minneapolis in 2020, and spent years building a public reputation as a progressive employer on LGBTQ issues. Target acknowledged its move hurt sales. Now, There were those that argued at the time that a lot of these moves were performative. There were a lot of people that argued that at the time. And here we are, merely a few years later, when it becomes politically expedient and financially expedient for you to do away with your calls for racial justice, you remove it entirely, thus proving those things correct. And it also forces me to reframe your motivations for doing it in the first place. If the moment you saw it as being financially and politically expedient to get rid of it, you chose to do so. Well, looks like you chose wrong now, didn't it?
Now, as you guys already know, the Target CEO has stepped down because, well, why would you dismantle DEI? What did you think was going to happen? Did y'all think that didn't have money? I am genuinely curious. Now, CNN puts together this really fabulous article about, well, what went wrong with Target? Now, what's shocking is at the top of their list as to why they're declining happened to be earnings that soared. Now, after they paid off most of their debts, they seem to have had a really great year because then the pandemic happened, which is really good for stockholders, but not really good for consumers. Because after they had made those record profits, they then purchased a bunch of merchandise, but they never actually lowered the sales. Now, if you guys remember, close to around Black Friday, people have been posting how Target had not really lowered their prices to get people deals for Black Friday. And then it just went mega viral and people were like, well, I'm just going to go spend my money elsewhere. And then they had the Pride backlash. So then they had their whole little section where they were doing their rollout for Pride. And then they let some crazy conservative lady get on TikTok and make it seem as though Target was trying to, I don't know, kidnap kids or some shit. I don't know what she was talking about. Then Target dismantled their Pride section. And then so they lost their large Pride community. And then everything that happened with DEI and dismantling their equity and inclusion for Black and brown consumers. So you stop pandering to lower income communities who do shop at Target. Then you go after the Pride community and then the Black and brown community. Newsflash, Target. Those white people who are decrying all over social media about you and your DEI and your Pride sections, they don't shop there. We do.
And that's not to mention, given how aggressive the anti-Blackness has been in this administration, trying to sidle up to this president and his anti-DEI movement is particularly nasty work. You didn't just decide to get rid of it in a vacuum. No, you decided to get rid of it in order to pick me for Trump and his anti-DEI, anti-Black push. I can tell you this. They finna drag you. Y'all sat on this app and attempted to shame Black folks for participating in the Target boycott because it, quote, wouldn't work. Meanwhile, the CEO is stepping down and the company has lost billions of dollars since said boycott. It looked like they dancing on a closed Target. The Target boycott didn't just cause the CEO to step down. Employees have been saying for months on TikTok, there's no point in even applying because sales are so bad. They only give 1 to 2 shifts to the workers every 2 weeks. That company is tanking. Reminder, Black consumers hold $1.8 trillion in spending power and we're done spending it on companies that play in our faces. Target thought we'd stay quiet after the DEI rollback. Now sales are sinking, the CEO's out, and yes, we're still boycotting. People-powered boycotts work as Target backed out of $2 billion with DEI months ago and has since lost market value by $12.4 billion. Target catered to the left and was boycotted by the right. Then Target reversed course and catered to the right and was boycotted by the left. The right never really shopped at Target. That boycott was meh. When the left also stopped shopping, that's when Target felt the pain.
This video for everybody who's been boycotting Target for whatever your reasons are, you might have been on to something. I ain't gonna hold you. I did not participate in the Target boycott because they just had what I needed, okay?
You got on Al Green's internet to congratulate the people on the Target boycott that you didn't participate in because they had what you didn't even have to say that. You know what I mean? You didn't even... I don't know whether to be confused, appalled, or applaud you for your honesty. I'm all the way messed up on that.
Shame.
That'd be like getting up during the group project that you didn't contribute to and just talking about what a good job everybody else did. I didn't participate. I was on the game. I didn't participate, but I just want to say that was a good presentation. It was, woo, it moved me.
All right, Target, you have a chance to make this right. All right? Now don't up and end up on a Jet 2 holiday. All right? Take your time. Make the right move, not the safe move. Don't this up again. All right? I want to help y'all. Y'all call me. Let me help you make this decision. Because if you up and make the wrong decision, we're back at it again.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm pretty sure they're going to F this up again.
What role do you think your boycott played in the CEO's decision to step aside now?
This was the most significant boycott of black people since the Montgomery Bus Boycott 70 years ago.
I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm ready to put this alongside the Montgomery Bus Boycott. We only get one legendary boycott every generation, and then you had used it on Target. Are you sure we never boycott Montgomery Ward or Woolworth? We never boycotted. We didn't boycott Zare, huh? We ain't never boycott Circuit City. Bradley's. We ain't never boycott Bradley's. We ain't never boycott Burlington.
You done fucked up, right?
I can tell you this. My parents boycotted KB Toy Store because I wandered in there when I was 4 years old, threw a temper tantrum, and I never saw it again.
The stock market stumbled from $145 a share to $93 a share. They lost $12 billion in valuation. The CEO's salary was cut by 42%. Foot traffic was down by 7.9%. So I would say it would be a Herculean part of what happened in the downfall.
Cornell will stay on now as Target's executive chairman. And the new CEO is a 22-year veteran employee of the company, started there as an intern. And I'm wondering what you think that means for the direction this company heads now. Do you think the new CEO is going to change company culture or steer the company in a different direction?
I think we're looking at the moving of peanut shells in Central Park. Is really nothing different about the ideology or their stance on DEI. It's really smoke and mirrors. I am anxious and zealous to see if the new CEO will be open to a meeting so that we can discuss what are the 4 things that we're asking for. But just moving the COO to the CEO is really stylish, but it has no substance.
Does your boycott continue with this news?
Oh, no, we are full steam ahead until those 4 things that we've asked for. Black people spend upwards of $12 million a day. So we've asked for $250 million to be deposited in the black banks. We've asked for them to show record of the $2 billion they pledged to invest in the black communities, to partner with 6 HBCUs. And we gave them a blank canvas to reimagine DEI. None of which have they produced. And so, yes, we're staying away from Target until they step up to the plate.
Yes, you heard that correct. Not only are they bringing the new CEO from within the company who sat idly by and talks about the need to be aggressive as his primary focus. No. They're also keeping the old CEO in-house.
CEO of Target didn't resign. He was promoted to the executive chair of Target, which is the head of the board of directors. He spends his day working with Target investors and encouraging them to invest even more money than they already have. He merely played the role of a fall guy to take the heat for the plummeting sales of Target. But he's still on the payroll, collecting a fatter check than he even was before. But make no mistake, the Target boycotts are working. This latest move proves it. We can't let up. We must continue in our efforts and continue to be vigilant until Target changes its practices. Once the word gets out that Target faked firing the CEO, things are going to get heated. People will be motivated to continue doing what they've been doing. The nerve of Target to announce the firing of the CEO like they're really changing. But the only real thing that's changing is Target's bottom line. Target sales are down by over 3%, but we can do much better.
So Target, let me get this straight. It wasn't bad enough that you turned tail and decided to cozy up and pick me to Trump when it came to DEI. But then you rolled out the black women t-shirts, right? Then you rolled that out. Then you rolled out the black hand models and you did all that. Then what you decided to do was give us a fake firing of the CEO while y'all play C-suite musical chairs to make it seem like y'all did something. But the new Fiddelke came in with his patch and ruined the whole game by just openly admitting he had absolutely no intention of doing anything about the reasons for the boycott. And as Pastor Jamal Bryant just laid out, have accomplished or attempted to even check 0 of the 4 asks that have been put forward. Talk about, this playing in our faces, and there's this right here.
Target just replaced its CEO, but it's not a win for us yet, and I'm going to explain why. So the CEO of Target stepping down is more of a performative act from Target rather than an actual policy change. They replaced the CEO with the person directly under him. So it was an internal employee. It was somebody who was already acting the same way that the CEO was. Because this was an internal employee, I highly doubt that Target is going to change any of its policies. If it does, fantastic. They'll earn my support again. But if they don't, we know why. Just because Target has replaced its CEO does not mean that we need to stop boycotting them. They didn't bring on a new member. They didn't hire somebody new. They replaced the CEO with somebody within the current system. What this does show us is that boycotts work, and we already knew this. Keep boycotting Target, keep boycotting Walmart, keep boycotting Coca-Cola, keep boycotting Starbucks, keep boycotting McDonald's. And if you want a longer list of options for you of places to boycott, there are so many organizations that have supported Trump. Specifically, I find that the easiest list to access is the sponsors for the military birthday parade. But keep boycotting. Boycotts work. This does not mean that we need to stop boycotting Target. We will keep boycotting Target until their policies change.
I appreciate the support because, I was actually just about to say, this is Target is more performative than the kente cloth, kneeling in the kente cloth in the Capitol. I was going to say this was as performative as that. And then she came with her allyship. I do appreciate that. Don't you be performative, though.
So let me get this straight. Target made this huge announcement yesterday that the CEO is stepping down. And everybody is talking about it. How they're really shaking up things in Target's leadership. And here's the deal. He's not leaving. He's sliding to the right as executive chair of the board, which means more influence and more money. This whole thing was just a PR stunt to make it seem like change was really happening so that they can get our dollars back. Did it work for you? Because to me, it seems like they're playing in our faces. Y'all, I'm done. Back to regular programming.
It seems that some of us are confused. Auntie is here to clear it up. This is not to bully or to harass you, honey. This is to educate you. We do not care that Target has made their CEO step down, because he didn't really step down. He stepped up into the chairman of the board seat. We still are not going to Target. Period. I know you miss Target, and sometimes I do too. But either you're on the principle or you're not. Anybody who loses $24 million, no matter what color, race, or creed they are going to get demoted by a company. But this man didn't. They promoted him. Act accordingly. Okay.
Well, all of a sudden it makes a whole lot more sense why the boycott's still on. They not feeling this, and I agree with y'all. Would have been better off without all. You know what I mean? You make things worse. You have communicated to me that you have absolutely no desire to actually fix the problem by virtue of all of this smoke and mirrors and dramatics and nonsense and PR stunts and performative behaviors. You know, this would be like expecting the GOP to come with helpful policies while they spend their time gerrymandering. You know, what are we doing?
Shout out to everyone who can't remember the last time you were in a Target. Can't remember. Ooh, feels so good. Oh, because we got laughed at. Oh, the tweets were flying. The jokes were everywhere. Boycott. What's that going to do? We represent 1.8 trillion in spending power. We'll show you what it's going to do. Should I tell you, he first had to take a pay cut and now he's gone because that company has lost over $12 billion since our black asses got organized and said, we're not shopping there. And you know, you had some of the raccoons like, well, how am I not going to shop there? Where am I supposed to shop? Bitch, not there. I even heard somebody on the Breakfast Club today talking about something. Well, I don't know. There's always something boycott. Bitch, we didn't say always do something. We said do this one. But give yourselves a pat on the back because it's hard. You even have people out there trying to detour us now like, well, there's other companies. Why aren't y'all boycotting Walmart and Amazon? Because we're talking about this one right now. We're talking about this one. And we're going to keep our foot on this one's neck. Because you know what happens when you keep your foot on the neck? The next time you say you have a boycott coming up, oh, that other company going to be like, where can we give in?
I'm here for the message. I'm here for the message. Is that Kanye on your wall? That's Kanye on your wall? Talking about playing in our faces and taking away our... That's bad, Target. I mean, that's bad. You know, all of this been bad. All the money you lost was bad. All of people laughing on social media, that's bad, but they dragging you with Kanye on your wall. You know what I mean? Hey, if this continues, y'all will be only accepting yay bucks. Brands just don't fear the repercussions of how they sell their ass. Similar to Target, just boycott from buying their things and they will switch up quick. F American Eagle and release the Epstein files. There you have it. There you have it. Let's not forget that. Let's definitely not forget that. And I'm glad he mentioned American Eagle because you know what American Eagle didn't do in the midst of all of the stuff where they very intentionally put out their nice jeans, eugenics dog whistle commercial with Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, I did a whole video all about it. You know what they didn't do was come with another commercial with kente cloth in it. You know, they didn't do that. You know, they didn't all of a sudden have a brothers with kufis on and American Eagles. They didn't do that. They collected their money and they just faded into the zeitgeist. Like they just Target. You know what I mean? I as much as I don't rock with American Eagle at all, I got to scrub that from my childhood. But that is how you handle that. I'll be honest. That is exactly how you handle it. Look like they still boycott. Yeah, it looks like they still boycott. In fact, if anything, it's picked up steam.
After seeing how successful this Target boycott went, I'm like, boycotting feel good. It do. It's like, I ain't gotta touch you. I ain't gotta harm you in any type of way. All I gotta do is stop fucking with you. That's gonna hit you where it hurts. All I gotta do is stop fucking with you. So now I'm like, who we boycotting next? Cause I'm ready. I've been boycotting Walmart. So if you ain't hopped on that train, you late. I've been boycotting Walmart. I'm just waiting for everybody else to hop on. I ain't been there forever. I'm thinking the NFL.
Well, apparently Pastor Bryant said that Dollar General is next. I think he said Dollar General is next, which fine with me because I ain't been in there in years. So I'm all for the Dollar General. That's a lie. You purchase Dollar General balloons on your way to every kid's party, of which you go to a lot. So you actually are very solid with Dollar General. Is Dollar Tree included too? Is Dollar Tree, because Dollar Tree got balloons. I'm gonna have to start blowing up my own balloon. No, I'm committed to it. I might have to make less video though, because it's gonna take a lot of my wind, but anything for the struggle. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and to all of you guys that have reached out to me at admin@reesewaters.com. I'm constantly getting feedback like this from Aaron that says, "Hey Reese, I love your show and have just subscribed. I just have one question for you, and please don't think I'm coming for you. And full disclosure, I did take a gummy." Well, where this about to go? I think I just took a gummy is the new version of I don't mean no offense. Question, on the Vivek Ramaswamy anti-black show, why is your mustache sitting so far from your lip?
Damn!
This is egregious work. This is nasty, egregious work.
I take offense. I think I take offense. I think that must have been the gummy. That must have been. Now, yeah. Let me just keep reading. How is it that I can help the channel? Well, one way you can help the channel is what you've already done, subscribing to the channel. Another way is by joining as a member. There are links in the description box to all of the videos to membership. You'll also find the links to my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, the link to merchandise, which is over at reesewaters.com. You could also join the Patreon at patreon.com/reesewaters, where you can get access to the newsletter. But one small but very significant way that you can help the channel is just by liking the video. Liking the video helps boost it in YouTube's algorithm and helps make sure more people get this information and these laughs. Well, hopefully y'all be laughing. I'll be laughing when I be recording the videos. I don't know, but all the other people in here just be quiet. But I think that's probably out of respect more than anything.
You don't find that suspicious?
Another way you can help the channel is by coming to the premieres. You know, I premiere all of my videos and I'm there in the chat along with the mod squad. So come help and enjoy all this goodness with everybody else. Kick your feet up, take your shoes off. Actually, don't do that. Actually, don't do that. No, because I be premiering my videos early in the day and it'd be too early for corn chips.
Brother,
Keep your shoes on, but come bring your positive attitude and spirit and join with the rest of the class. And make sure you turn on your notifications so you know exactly when those premieres go down. But I would like to thank you all for your support up to this point.